Okay, let me give you a quick patch rundown, okay? I'll do a TLDR version, okay? First of all, we have ASOL Champ is Turbo OP. Not much to say, okay? You want to play stacking style now with your Q. You want to go Dorn Ring, Raleigh, and you want to just Q, get stacks with Q. Your E doesn't matter anymore as much as stacks. At level 9, you obviously stack with E, but that's about it. Your W is super OP now, your Q is super OP, max Q into W. Like, Champ is just Turbo OP. It's gonna get nerfed tomorrow. Then you have Azir, he's gonna lose some solo Q win rate with 2 health regen nerf. It's not a big deal. This champ is still gonna be played in pro. Champ is still gonna be a really good high elo player, champion. Yeah. Then you have Brand, okay, this is, what, 20% clear split nerf on passive? Okay, sure. And Q's losing 10 damage. Now you have to understand something, Jungle Brand is turbo OP. He got indirectly buffed with champions having more health via rune shards, okay? So health in the game has gone up. So every champion does percent damage, like Lily and Brand have gotten massively buffed. Okay. On top of that, like he really likes like Lianji. New Lianji gives HP, old Lianji didn't give HP, right? And stuff like that. So this champion is turbo OP. He's getting a slight nerf. He's not gonna be as strong anymore, but he will still be very good to OP. So still play Brand. Then you have Corki, okay. Package nerf, a bit of a bigger nerf to pro play. Okay, it is a nerf. This one is really big, okay? So they're fixing interaction of Malignance and Eclipse. So for those that don't know, if you had Eclipse and Malignance and you pressed a rocket onto enemy champion, Eclipse would insta-proc. That way you would proc a lot of extra damage to your opponents. This is now fixed, okay? So it's gonna lose some win rate here. Now they're giving him a buff on W, but this doesn't matter. Okay, this is the last max ability. Sure, 20 mana, okay, cool. Damage per second going up with AP ratio, irrelevant. You have Ezreal. Ezreal Dispatch getting 5 AD with Essence River is nice. However, I would argue these nerfs are bigger than the 5 AD on Essence River. So basically Q is getting reverted and R is getting, I think it's something like, first rank is worse, second rank is equal, and third rank is slightly better. Illaoi. Tentacle range up. Probably a massive buff to low elo Illaoi. Like massive. And I was checking her win rates. She seems to be positive win rate everywhere. I thought Illaoi would be shit because she lost like Hullbreaker and everything. But she's doing positive win rates in like most elos. Honestly, like, it's arguable this champion even needed a buff. Like, yeah, she's losing some tentacle damage. Okay, champ's better. Karma. Okay, so let me explain this one, okay. So they are nerfing the explosion on the R. Now this is a bigger nerf to mid lane and top lane Karma than it is to bot lane, because you can see here that the first rank of R is not changed, and the second R, so basically it's based on levels, but you get less levels of support. Now here's why this matters, okay? If you actually played against a Karma, you'll quickly realize that the RQ slow is so strong that a lot of champions cannot escape the explosion damage. This will matter a lot, but Karma is still strong, honestly, and she still got there in Aram. Lilia, it's just like Brand. Too good, with too much HP in the game, too good items. The champ got massively buffed, her ult is Omega OP, everything about this champ is just Omega OP. These are just damage nerfs. She's still very good. She was turbo OP, one of the best champs in the game, and I think she still will be. Maokai. According to Freak, this is the strongest champion in the game. On support. Now obviously, in the Freak fashion, what he did here was he tried to change up some stats to like make top lane, jungle, and support be equal win rate, because support is just by far the strongest right now. Okay, so make it really quickly. Simple. Base mana regen nerf and E mana regen nerf are mainly support nerfs. Okay. Q being lower mana is more of a top lane buff, because you're gonna spam Q all the time as a trading tool on top lane. 1 second off in early rank is a jungle clear speed buff, okay? Passive is basically, I think it's like slightly nerfed throughout the whole game. And our first rank nerf is jungle supports nerf mostly, and less of a top lane nerf because he reaches levels faster. But yeah, after all, if you read all of this, support Maokai is still probably going to be way too good, and support's probably still going to be his best role. Then we have Nidalee. I was checking her win rates today, right, as a fun thing. This champion is terrible. Seriously, okay? For everyone watching the stream, unless you're a master player, do not touch this champion. She's so fucking horrible. She's only good in Master Plus. Like, literally, she's only viable in Master Plus. Okay, we have some base MR growth, a bit tankier against mages or magic damage. And then we have E-heal. This is actually a really big buff, by the way. So, this ability heals, I think, 50% more if you're below 50% health. It's like really big buff. And then the attack speed, okay, sure, it's like nice. But yeah, this ability is actually gonna heal like a real ability now. Like, Nidalee heal is gonna be way more noticeable than like a Sona heal. Pyke. So we have mainly early game buffs to Pyke. No, I mean, it's a mix, so like some early game and some late game buffs. Okay, so armor, yeah, I don't know. Champ spawns into the game and is a tank apparently. 47 armor. I don't know what they were doing here. Then we have Q. This is basically a scaling buff to Q, right? Slightly more damage in Q. It's not going to be that noticeable. Pyke's biggest weakness as a champion is generally that he falls off late game. Mana cost, this is obviously early game buff, but honestly, if you're a good Pyke player, you are not running so this is like irrelevant. Okay, Q, bit more damage. W is getting a decent noticeable buff, especially in late game, but it is decaying movement speed. So his W is decaying movement speed. So yeah, it speeds you up really fast at the beginning and then it slows down. And then E is gonna get, what? Early game buff, basically. No, early game nerf, actually. No, never mind. E is just getting nerfed. Okay, so I don't think these changes are that big, to be honest. I would say they're probably more late game buffs than early game, and yeah, they're just like whatever. Rengar. 30 health, nerf to jungle, nerf to top lane. Rengar hates this, because he's a skirmisher jungler. And this is also like... By the way, just so you guys know, Nidalee is a Master Plus problem. Right? She's just only good in Master Plus. Pyke is the same as Nidalee. He's only good Master Plus. Rengar is getting nerfed only because he's too good in Master Plus. This is all just high elo problems. And yeah, this is really big for Rengar because less damage in Q, I mean, obviously it's gonna hurt the champion. This is gonna fuck his lethal thresholds of how he can 100 to 0 champion. Okay? Shaco. So I know what they're doing here, okay? I checked it. So Shaco is basically, his best role is support. And in jungle he sucks for majority of elos. Okay, so wow, again, they're making the same thing, which is like, we're gonna try to buff jungle Shaco and nerf support Shaco. So basically mana cost nerfs and mana regeneration growth is like mostly a nerf to support, because in jungle, mana issues are not relevant because of your jungle item. Right, your W is also gonna be, okay, less mana cost, whatever, and then... yeah, you do more bonus damage, so his clear speed is a bit better. And then this is pretty big. So basically, Shaco R is now gonna like mimic all his spells perfectly, so it's gonna be like a lot of confusion, kind of like Nico. Shyvana. I checked this champion. This champion just fucking sucks. Like, it literally doesn't matter how much they buff her. She's so bad right now. Talia. Yeah, early game buffs to Talia. She's better mid laner than jungler, so yeah, she's only gonna be really viable in mid lane. Yeah. She's stronger laner. She falls off late game just as much as before. These are basically like buffs to level 13 pretty much. Q is buffed to level 9 and E is buffed to level 13 when you max it. Teemo. What is this? Teemo Q blind should immediately apply to a target hit by the Q, preventing Teemo from taking damage from auto attack after the blind has been applied. Blind duration should not also consistent with the debuff duration above the target's health bar. Okay. Chandel. God tier top laner in so many elos. Less health, less Q damage. Even though the Q damage is only getting nerfed by 10, you have to understand that this ability is like super low cooldown, so he's spamming it a lot. This is like 3-second cooldown ability. And it's his primary ability to trade and everything. Okay, cool. Yeah, gonna be some winner down. Twitch. Whatever, no change. Wukong is gonna get bonus range on Q, but mainly for early ranks, okay? And then his Q damage is gonna go up, more scaling. Okay, nice. So basically gold scaling. And then E is going to be less cooldown incentive. So one would argue that this is a bit of a better buff for top lane, because you're probably gonna use this range increase to poke out top laners way easier. And this buff is obviously better for top laners because you get more levels. But honestly, yeah, Wukong jungle and top all both benefit from that. Cool. Then we have Yorick. Yeah, these are Yorick buffs. So, from what I can understand here, okay? From what I can understand, They made Q have missing health, which is basically a buff to Bruiser Yorick builds, and it's a nerf to like squishy Yorick builds. And E Shadow buff, Mana Cost Shadow buffed, and then this is like he will do more damage like Baron and jungle camps with this, I believe. But yeah, it's Yorick. Like I don't know what to comment to this. Okay, Zari. 3AD, nice. R cooldown buff, nice. She can use R more in lane now to like poke out the opponent and stuff. Champ still shit, IMO. I don't think, like, I don't think we'll see Zari. I don't think this is enough. We'll see, but my prediction is this will not be gonna be enough. Then we have Ziggs buffs. More armor back, which is deserved. 18 armor is really low, and right now he lost the shard, so this is like really good into physical damage. Better buff for bot lane. W, this used to be like old thing, where he used W to like poke opponents, now it's going back to 20 seconds like it used to be. Like it's just nice Ziggs buffs, it's just like nice. Like 1 or 2% win rate, that's pretty much it. Zyra. So, TLDR here is that middle Zyra and jungle Zyra is getting buffed with this, while support Zyra is getting no change kinda. Q is gonna be less mana, but this is also a bigger buff to like middle Zyra because she maxes Q and spams Q. But then the mana regen nerfs, base mana regen nerfs, and mana regen growth are basically nerfs to support Zyra. Essence River, 5 AD. So who's happy with this? Ezreal, Jace, Gangplank, and Lucian. I think those are the only 4 champions in the game that buy Essence River. And Smolder. 5, right? That's it. We have 5 champions. Ginsor's Rageblade. Okay, we have 5 AD and 5 AP. Okay, nice. So like what? Kog'Maw's happy, maybe Kai'Sa's happy, maybe like Kayla's happy. Like any champion that buys this is a bit happier. Cool. Hullbreaker. Okay, whatever. Kenny Croker. 2% max health nerf and 3 seconds more on without taking damage. Item was turbo OP. Item will still be very strong to OP. Okay, you're still probably gonna buy this in majority of cases. Road of Ages. 100 more mana, 50 more health. It's nice. It's just nice. People that want to buy Rod, this is nice for them, but I don't think a lot more champions are going to buy Rod necessarily because of this. Collector, 5 AD nerf. So this is a nerf to mainly crit lethality ADCs that are pretty dominant in solo queue. Nyla, Misfortune, and probably some more that I'm missing. And Grave Jungle, I guess, is getting hit a bit with this Jhin, right? Yeah. Samira. Same with this. This is also mostly an ADC nerf, because Yomus is being abused by a lot of ADCs. So Yomus is going to be having a range debuff here. So basically, if you're a range character, you're going to get less moves with out of combat and active. Same champions as for Collector, this is getting nerfed. Then we have AP items, okay? Archangel is just getting a nice 100 gold bump. Can't complain. Echoes of Helia is getting a buff because you would rather have a heal shard being increased by 20 than a damage shard being decreased by 10, okay? Item is going to heal more and do slightly less damage. Hectic Alternator was a super OP component, okay? This is a nerf to Neeko, this is a nerf to a champ like Hui who can buy it, maybe like a Syndra buys it in lane. Any champion, especially mid laners, maybe sometimes supports that buy this is getting nerfed. This is very deserved, it's gonna like not scale as much into later levels. Rocket Belt is getting double nerf, base damage and AP ratio. This item is not used for damage, okay? This item is used for dash, so Neeko doesn't really care as much because she's using it for dash. Maybe like an Akali does, maybe like an Eiko does. Like, yeah, sure, I mean, damage nerf to the item sucks, but I think this is fine, long term. Like, item active shouldn't be a damage thing, it should be a dash. Kraken Slayer, okay, so this is like a math thing, okay? Basically, Kraken Slayer is a better first item, is a better second item, is a better third item unless you're snowballing and you're really far ahead in the game. Then it could arguably be worse, but it's a worse fourth and fifth item, okay? So basically, you're still gonna buy this item on the same champions as before. It's just very worse, very late game, and it's better early game. It's like totally okay. Leechbane is getting nerfed. Item is OP, item will still be OP, okay? This is not a reason not to buy Leechbane. This is fine. Luden's Companion, 100 gold cheaper, 5 more AP, but the fire damage will have more base and less scaling here. Okay, so the way this works is, Luden's Companion is a better first item, and it's easier to get. And like 1.5 to 2 items is arguably still better, but then it's kind of worse because the fire damage is descaled, but it costs cheaper and gives a bit more AP. So it's like, honestly, it's like such a placebo change. I feel like it's like whatever. You're buying this in the same cases, it's just the same item almost. Malignus, 100 gold cheaper. Damage per second is gonna go 1% down. This is nothing. Magic is shot is gonna be better for majority of time. Only till you reach like level, I don't know what the threshold is. Probably around level 13 to 14 this item gets worse. And you're mostly rushing this item as first item. So honestly, like Malignus is just straight up buffed. Like you can't argue this. This item is 100% buffed. This Seraph is just 100% buffed. And Ludens is arguably buff / power neutral. So all these items are, yeah, they're fine. But honestly, these are not that big changes. Profane Hydra, less execute damage, more cleave damage. Okay, cool. Static Shoe. Okay, there's no way to argue this. This item is just strictly buffed. 300 cost down for less champion damage is just way buffed, okay? The only champion that could potentially cry about this is LeBlanc, but I think even for her, this could be fine. Yeah. The problem with Static Shoe is that in majority of cases, it's just a worse Kraken. Storm Razor. Basically, the ball damage is always nerfed, but the speed is always buffed. So it's like kind of like a trade-off. Item has more speed, but less damage, okay? So you're still buying it in some cases. So this is what I mean. Like, a lot of these changes are such placebo changes because I feel like same champions are going to be buying these items. Storm Surge. 5 more AP, but less squall damage. I don't think people should be buying this item. This item's trash. Thunder Sky. Less AD means the crit damage is getting nerfed to the item, but more health. It's just a power neutral change. Honestly, it's just like you're tankier, you do less damage. Fine, you're buying it on the same items, same champions. Titanic Hydra, more health, less active damage. Totally fine change, placebo. Then you have systems. You have Herald. So I didn't even know they were gonna implement this. So basically, for the first 2 seconds after you spawn the Herald, it's easier to control the Herald, but then every 2 seconds after, it's harder to control the Herald. I think it's a totally fine change. It's not really gonna do anything. And this is also a thing. Herald's gonna spawn faster by 1 second, apparently. Aram. Yeah, not much to say here. Some Aram changes. And then that's gonna be it, I think, right? That's the whole patch. That's the whole patch, I think. And the thing about this patch is that it might look good. Like, sorry, it might look a big patch, like 14.2 and 14.1. But IMO, this patch was a bit smaller than 14.2 and 14.1 because a lot of the changes in the patch were placebo. Like,